Previously on the Ram Rebel Rouser series, we installed several Mopar performance parts and accessories on our Rebel project truck. This is stage 1 of the build. This includes performance air intake and exhaust systems, new steel off-road side steps, beadlock capable wheels, and a sports bar with LED off-road lights on top. On this episode, we're testing different off-road lights at night. I will also measure the ground clearance on the new side steps and measure how loud the new exhaust system is. Guys, I'm so excited for this episode of Ram Rebel Rouser because it's my first chance to get the modified Rebel out into the wilderness for some off-roading. But this episode is all about off-roading at night, and I asked my buddy Tommy to actually come along with me so we can do a comparison, off-road comparison, but not just any comparison, headlight and light comparison. Dude!
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's not fair. You put your tire in the rock, dude.
Oh, you gotta flex, Andre. It's not off-roading unless you're showing off a little squirrel and gerbil.
I'm gonna flex my muscle. Dude, I have Mopar aftermarket lights and I wanna see how they work at night.
Are they LEDs?
Hell yeah.
Well, I got some old school halogen hellas, so we're gonna do a little comparison.
For this trail run, I want to go to Rocky Top. It's a really picturesque trail, and it's also kind of difficult because it's tight.
Well, why not Goldmine Hill?
Goldmine Hill is closed, dude.
That's a bummer. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we took a ride down there, and there's a big sign, like the Forest Service shut it down for some
Yes.
reason. But before we do the Rocky Top Trail,
Yeah.
which is a new trail you're going to learn about today, I actually want to do this. It's a new obstacle I'm naming the Chin Scratcher. So it's about a 2-foot tall ledge. You can see relative to my knee here, and it's pretty vertical, so it's a good test of approach and even breakover angle. So I'm going to take it first in the Land Rover because I've got a big lift, I got a big aftermarket front bumper. See if we actually scrape. I'm in low range. Oh yes, no problem.
Okay, I don't think this test is fair, but I will try it.
Well, Andre, before you say it's not fair, the Ram Rebel's looking pretty upgraded.
Yes.
But we've got one big one coming up that should make it even more capable off-road. So let's see if we can demonstrate one of the biggest issues with the Chin Scratcher.
How am I doing?
Whoa!
Well, I know it's not fair. I know.
It's the Chin Scratcher, Andre.
I know.
Whoa, whoa! Yep, good. Andre's not even on the Chin Scratcher yet, and he's almost scraping his chin. He's got like 3 feet. Keep coming. Okay, you can stop there. The Ram Rebel is good at a lot of things, but it just doesn't sit high enough, and the lack of lift means the approach and departure angle is not very good, and you can see we're already about to jam that license plate into the rock, and then if we went any farther, so would the skid plate.
These side steps are growing on me. I think they look pretty good, but let's see if they're any taller off the ground. 12 3/4 here in the front. It was 12 1/2 before. Not much difference. Let me check the back. Oh, here actually 14 inches in the back, so a little bit, maybe an inch difference. Not much though. This is still stage 1, so no difference here in the front, no lift, same tire, 17 1/2 still. Ram Rebel already comes with LED headlights, LED fog lights, but we can do better. Let me show you how the accessory lights are actually working. Of course, this is pretty cool. Part of it, it's the Ram bar, sports bar with the LED Mopar accessory lights mounted on it. And if you're wondering how much these LED lights cost as a kit without the bar, it's about $530. Alright, so these are not street legal for street use, right? These are off-road lights, so they come with these pretty handy plastic covers. You need an extra switch for your extra lights. And this kit, the 5-inch LED kit, comes with this switch right here on the dash. There's a blue light that tells you the lights are on, and now you can go conquer some trails. Lighting is very important on a modern truck. Case in point, the Ram Rebel. And a lot of you guys have commented and said, wait a minute, sometimes when you're driving I see only one fog light, when it's an automatic system that works on purpose. And Tommy will demonstrate. Check it out. When you turn the steering wheel, the corresponding fog light turns on. And that's just made for illuminating where you're going a little bit better.
Okay, so I know you clicked on the video to learn about the Ram, but we also have the Land Rover, so I'm going to talk about it real quick. 04 Discovery, it's got a 3.5-inch lift on it. It's got some bigger tires, ARB bumpers, it's got the roof rack, easy on tent. Now, my dad actually went ahead and bought a set of Hella off-road lights. And don't get me wrong, Hella makes some high quality off-road lights. These aren't one of them. These are $60 halogen beams. They are one of the cheaper ones you could find on Amazon, but we bought them primarily because they've got those cool Hella light caps, and that's a very Land Rover-esque design. But here's how they work. So, just like Andre, I gotta climb up here and pull off these caps, like so. And they pop off. Now these are one of the cheaper units that they build, because this is kind of a budget off-road build. We weren't going to spend a lot of money on lights that we were never really going to use all that often. So they've got plastic housings, they've got a pretty low wattage beam, and I don't think they're going to be all that bright, but don't tell Andre. Andre, they are super bright. They are incredibly bright. So someone, when they built this Land Rover, put a frick ton of money into it to do it up properly. And I know that because of the position of the light switch. It's actually not a hole drilled in the dash, but rather what they did is install these really great looking factory fog light switches. Now there's actually 2 of them because I could wire 2 more up there, and actually 2 on the bumper as well. So someone put a ton of money in this. They just chopped their lights off when they sold it to us. Let's put this up against Andre's LED setup and see how they work, because I also have halogen high beams and low beams and fog lights. It's good old school yellow light. There are a bunch of different types of lights and mounting positions. So some people put them up front, some people put them up high, like we have here with the Land Rover and the Ram. But the point is, there's a lot of different preferences and also different light beam types. Now, when they're up high, I like to aim mine out far. I want to see what's way down the trail, and there's a couple reasons for that. I want to go beyond what the normal high beams can do, but more importantly, I don't want to blind myself, because if you aim these roof lights too low, I find in a lot of cases that you end up just shining all over your hood, and then it's worse than not having them at all. So, Andre, I have an assistant down there. Are you ready? There's the low beam, and there's the high beam. So with my lights on, now what I'm going to do, bam, turn on my Hellas. They haven't made too much of a difference. Now you can see actually when I aim them, you can see the beam spread around. So right now it's in the trees, right now it's on Andre's crotch.
What?
I want to split the difference actually between the trees and Andre's crotch. I don't want them to go too far out because that's how I like them. So bend the first one in the middle there, and then bend the second one also in the middle. Now, you're probably curious why we're comparing such a cheap light to such an expensive light. And that's a good question, because we're out here having fun, and this is what's been on this Land Rover for a while. These are $60 lights. They're probably not going to be all that impressive by themselves, but they do help, as Andre can maybe attest to. Are you blinded?
Yes, but your high beams are actually what's doing it.
Okay, so if I turn my high beams off, are you ready? Yeah, that's not that impressive. That's just the off-road lights. Okay, well, let's see what you can do, Andre. Let's aim those Mopar lights.
Now with a truck such as this Rebel, there are not a lot of places to put accessory lights, hence the Ram sports bar in the back. It's not an ideal position to where I want the lights, but this is why we're here. We're testing different positions and aiming the lights. So let's try this. I'll start with my marker lights, then my headlights, then my brights, and then finally the Mopar accessories. Here are my markers.
Yeah, those do nothing. Oh, there you go.
Here are my headlights.
Yeah, those are good.
Here are my brights.
Whoa! Golly, Andre.
Oh, okay, so that's already good. Now my fogs. Up close. And finally, are you ready?
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Whoa! Wow.
Okay, so there's a lot of the light that's hitting the sunroof, and it's actually lighting up. It's actually lighting up the interior of the truck. And then, guys, that's the difference between kind of cheap and expensive lights and really powerful LEDs. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you a little blind?
Good.
You know, there's another reason why we call the Ram Rebel Rouser the Rouser.
Yeah?
You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it, it will wake up the dead. Doing a sound check after the intake and exhaust systems are on the truck. This is stage 1 of the Rebel Rouser. First, let me open it up. Okay, there's the Hemi. Okay, I'm gonna set the cruise control at 60, exactly where I was last time. 61.2. It's actually quieter than before while rolling, just rolling down the highway in cruise control. Same highway, same tires, but very different exhaust system. Same sound meter, same distance, about 24 inches from the exhaust. Let's see what the decibel level will be now. What? 116.4? Isn't that like a jet airplane or something? I mean, it was 89. Now it's 116.4. Oh boy. So here we are at the bottom of the Rocky Top Trail.
Yeah, Andre, I can't see it at all.
Don't worry, dude. Check this out. So here are my perimeter lights.
Yep.
Regular headlights.
Yep.
High beams.
Those are pretty good. Now you can kind of start to see how the trail winds up the hill, right?
Sure. But let me just go back here for a second.
Yeah, turn it all off. Let's see what it's like with it all off. Okay.
And now, are you ready for this?
Yep. Oh my god. That is insane. Look, you can see all the way up to the crest of the trail there.
And you could see shadows like half a mile away.
Flick on your high beams too. Let's see what those look like in conjunction. It's a lot of light, Andre.
So the high beams are actually taking care of closer stuff.
Yep.
And then the roof lights are just going so far away.
That's how it should be. Yeah, none of it's reflecting off of the hood. So check out the hood right there. Now the hood is dark, so you're not being blinded by your own lights.
Yeah, so actually I was kind of wrong. I really love this setup.
Yeah, I think the position's pretty great.
Oh, the Rebel Rouser is awake and it's prowling at night. Here I am using my fog lights. Not enough light, but it's a wide beam so I can see to the side. Regular headlights is already really good. I mean, these LEDs on the Ram are already very good lights. But then, if I want more, it's insane. You know, and these roof-mounted lights really are there also for high-speed off-roading. So if you're running in the desert at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour and you want to throw light far ahead of you, that's what it's really good for. I can see my first obstacle, so I'm gonna come up to it slowly, just using my headlights right now. I can see it pretty clearly. And at night, the off-road experience changes a bit. Yes, you cannot see to the side of your truck very well, but everything has shadows, very distinct shadows. So you can kind of actually see how tall some of these obstacles are. I'm using my locker, I'm using 4-low, I'm using all the elements available to me in order to negotiate this trail. Also, I can bring my mirrors in to clear this obstacle, and I can extend them back out once I'm through. Ooh, spooky, it's getting dark. Well, now it's Tommy's turn to negotiate this tight section of the Rocky Top Trail. Let's see how he does.
Now it does actually sound like I'm hating a lot on these halogen headlights, but in this 04 Discovery, they're actually really good. The Discovery was facelifted for 2003 and it got new headlights. So there are the low beams, there are the high beams, and there are the roof lights. Now it probably doesn't look like these roof lights do a whole lot, but they actually help a lot in one specific area. And that's cresting hills, cresting berms, helping me know what's on the other side of things. Because that light from above eliminates a lot of the shadows. So yes, even though these low power ones may not see that far ahead of me, they do actually help a lot in getting over obstacles. Now this is a bit of a rock. Andre kind of took an easy line, so I'm gonna one-up him. Because why not? Show what this Discovery can do. Come on, traction control. It would help if I locked my center diff. Okay, that's locked now. Come on, traction control. There you go, there you go. Nice. Nicely done. Gotta stay in it. Oh, yes, if you're not lifting tires, you're not having fun. That's what I say. Oh, I lost the trail. Totally lost the trail. It's this way. Now, this Land Rover Discovery has a center diff lock for 2004, and you can see it work there. I got completely stuck for a sec. Put it on, and the traction control really did its job and got me up. Now, I made a mistake. I let off the throttle. What you want to do in those situations is stay on the throttle, let the traction control figure it out, because it always does.
Dude, your Land Rover was bucking like a wild bronco.
Dude, you gotta take a hard line on that stuff. That was awesome.
Oh, you're like, boom, lifting tire, but you made it.
Yeah, I don't have a rear diff lock in this Land Rover, but I do have traction control, and it got me up. Now, I was supposed to stay on the throttle and just let it figure it out, but
yes.
I hesitated, and that's why I was like, woo! But we got up there anyways.
Wow, that was impressive. I just did it kind of easily, and you just went all over the place.
Yeah, that's how the British do it.
All right, second obstacle on the Rocky Top Trail. Here we go. I got my fogs, headlights. That's not enough. Whoa! Okay. Daylight again. This is so much fun. I'm gonna be climbing over this obstacle here. Okay, that's too much light. Gonna turn it down. I might scrape my breakover angle. I'm gonna go very slowly. Okay, that's the side step.
You're like high centered, Andre. You're backing her up a little. You got the off-road.
I think this obstacle is too big for me. Alright, so this pointy rock is what caught my side step and really rubbed it, and it's about 2 feet high. So I need a little bit more clearance. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Alright, so here's a new side step, and there's a little bit of trail damage, just a couple of scratches, but the step is still intact. Okay, let me back up. Am I clearing? Okay, here I go. I'm using a bypass because those rocks were a little too tall for the stuck height suspension on the Rebel. Gonna sneak through here. What is that? What is that? It looks like a bear. Oh wait, that's Jeff. Jeff, I thought you left the office. What are you doing here? Oh, he's out in the wilderness. It's really good to see Jeff out in his element, just hanging out. I had to go around the second obstacle because of the breakover angle. When I get stage 2 of this project done, which will have a leveling kit, a lift, bigger tire, I'll try to tackle it again.
Now let's talk about the 04 Land Rover and its off-road capability, because it's not just good by 2004 standards, it's good by today's standards, because it's got the basics. A solid frame, solid axles, a lot of approach, departure, and breakover, and decent skid plates. And this one's been lifted, so this obstacle that Andre got cut up on, let's see how it does. Is there a rock there? Was there a rock there? Apparently there was. Yeah, was there a rock there?
Yes.
Yeah. This thing has a great breakover angle because it's super thin, and not a lot of people know that. Because it's super stubby, it's got a really short wheelbase, which means the back seat is kind of miserable, but it's super good off-road.
All right, dude. So the first obstacle I made look easy.
Yep.
The second obstacle, it was reversed.
Well, yes, but Andre, it's because on the first obstacle, I'm going with this still, I took the man line, and
What?
you went bloop, you went bloop. Yeah, that's right. The Land Rover and I, we're pals. We push each other, Andre.
Okay. Well, let's get to the top, the rocky top.
I'm not gonna lie though, I can't really see anything. Like I'm running blind. It's great having this like nice warm glow of the halogen headlights, but they're just like oof.
What about the bright white sunlight?
Yes, the collapsed sun is much more ideal.
Dude, I can see you're burning a couple of light bulbs out.
Okay, so here's the deal. I just took the Land Rover on like a 1,500-mile road trip, and it did great.
Okay.
Except one of the headlights burned out when I got home.
Really?
So I threw a new bulb in there, great. Sealed it back up, and then the other one burnt out like an hour later. So threw a new headlight in that one, great. Sealed it back up. And now look,
Okay, this one is working.
marker light, good.
What about the other one?
No! It's not working.
What about in the back? Show me the fogs.
Yeah, ready? This is a feature. This is a cool feature you don't have. So, rear end, cool, right? Got my high mounted tail lights. Check this out though. Oh yes, rear fog lights.
Ah, but only one. Is that on purpose or is that not on purpose?
Andre, it's a Land Rover thing, you wouldn't understand.
Oh jeez. All right, so we're near the top and I'm just gonna make some more progress. I'm gonna use all of my lights and maybe I can shine it down the mountain and see the world. Those are the lights of the Land Rover behind me. Booyah! That's ridiculous. It doesn't get old. I'm so happy we came out here at night. I learned so much, and actually the positioning of the lights I think works awesome.
Yeah, they do. Now, okay, surprise, surprise, the $500 LEDs are better than the $60, driving lights. But, even having those running lights up top did help. And the thing I took away was the more light, the better when you're off-roading at night.
Yes, absolutely, because right now it's middle of the night now.
Yeah, but we got a great view of Boulder down there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we need to head because it's like 10 p.m.
Okay, and what do you have in your hand? Is that
I've got a satellite phone.
okay?
And
are you phoning home?
I'm gonna have to call the big cheese because I'm sure he's gonna be worried that we're not we're not back yet. Little does he know we're on top of a mountain with a Land Rover and a Ram.
No problem. Guys, and go back to tfltruck.com for the latest on the Ram Rebel Rouser series and also all other trucks.
Yeah, and thanks for watching.
Oh yeah, the Ram Rebel Rouser project continues, and this episode is all about suspension and tires. And there you have, voila!